I was playing Call of Duty with a man then.
Yeah.
Someone said banter about another man's wife. Do you think that's out of order?
What?
Do you think it's out of order to cut? If me and you are bantering each other and someone says "rare-te-te" and something about your missus, is that going too far?
Of course it is.
So you think that's considered a low blow in your opinion?
I think it's a low blow, bro.
You're the low blow specialist, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Because...
Bro, no, I'm not.
Pause on all of that.
Pause. 100% not a low blow specialist. Pause. Definitely not.
Okay. In watching the fight, did you see my TikTok video?
Bro, I saw your... Bro,
There was people in the yard sleeping, so I had to whisper.
I was the first one on earth to watch that video because as soon as you put it up, it was the notification went straight away. I'm like, I wonder what this guy's talking about now. Bro, you was vexed. I thought you were Daniel Dubois' coach, bro.
I watched the fight with no commentary. I put it on mute. Most fights I don't watch with any commentary.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? Because I don't like hearing the commentary. Obviously it's going to be biased, but it can't, even me, it sways me sometimes if I'm just hearing like the cheers of the crowd and any of those types of things. So I just like to score it just as is. And in the moment, it didn't look like a low blow. And then I didn't watch no replays. That's the immediate reaction straight after the fight. Man, there was no replays on that end. And it looked clean in my opinion. It did look like the lower side of the belly, but I didn't think it was
a low blow.
Low.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Definitely not pelvis.
You don't think it was pelvis?
I don't think it was pelvis. If you want to argue with me that it was between the belly button and the pelvis, like the gut, that the problem area, I can't shift. I drink too much Coca-Cola, yeah? If you want to argue it's that bit there, the chicken wing bit, then cool. But pelvis is, we're going too far.
So my understanding,
yeah,
your pelvis is between your hips, no? Directly, the space in between.
Yeah, but
hips.
like your pelvis is like curved, like
okay,
in the bone.
Okay.
So like where you
okay.
punch, yes, they might be the same height.
Yeah, but
the top.
But then the space in between your hips, no?
Yeah.
The curve in between your hips. Yeah. That's where your pelvis is.
Okay, so you're saying he got hit there?
That's where he got hit. I'm not saying he got hit in his balls.
Yeah.
Because that space is above your balls.
Yeah.
I don't want to be graphic.
No, of course.
But now I saw your video and I was like, bro. First, and I'll be honest, when I first watched it when live and without replay, I was like, but the replay was instantly after. But when I watched it first,
not on my stream.
Oh, swear.
That's why I thought it was even more suspicious because I thought my stream it was some East European thing.
I was about to say, fam.
Yeah, my stream was an East European thing. Yeah, and did you watch the build up to the fight?
Nah, bro.
You didn't watch the build up?
No, I watched the build up, but I was watching it on BT Sport.
That's what I'm asking you. So on your build up on BT Sport, were they talking to President Zelensky and stuff?
Not on what I saw. I
okay,
saw
that's
the
what
fights, bro.
On my stream, yeah, it like they were talking about every promotional pack was about Ukraine. We're doing this for the people of Ukraine and blah blah blah. Like, it was heavy on the like Zelensky, people shouting like, it was mad. So the whole thing was pro Usyk. Obviously it's the East European broadcast. And then when the blow hit, the low blow, not low blow, whatever. When that hit, yeah, it took ages for a replay. I was like, now wait, this is getting to the whole time he was down, there was no replay, which to me is immediately suspicious. So I was like, nah, what's this? There's something funky going on.
For me, I watched it and I saw the replay. The first one I saw, I was like, yeah, 100% that is not a low blow. When I watched the replay instantly after, I was like, yeah, there's no. I didn't even know what people were debating about.
Yeah.
Because to me, it was just clean and clear a low blow.
And in the fight, do you think there's some misunderstanding because during the fight, there were his Usyk's belt line was riding up a little bit. So there were times in the fight where it was above his belly button, and then after the fight it was below his belly button. So then it looked like if you saw the punch and then a screenshot separately, which you would see on social media, it looked like he got punched mad low. Whereas earlier the belt, it could still have been a low blow, but when the belt line was higher, it was harder to see.
So this is the thing, and it's straightforward, and I've spoken about this many times on Instagram, but even if you haven't, but with the low blow, it's very, very simple, and I think once I say this, you're probably going to agree. There isn't any still image that I've seen or video where an inch of the Dubois' glove is above the belt line and is actually touching the surface of the belly. So even if you want to say it's borderline, if the ref gives it, you can't argue because it isn't a mistake.
I agree.
You've left the window open for the referee to interpret as that way. And I will even go as far as saying this. If Usyk landed that shot on Dubois and Dubois took a knee, I don't think the referee would give it. Because I think the referee was definitely biased towards Usyk, 100%. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, in my opinion, that was a low blow. And I didn't even look at the fact that belly button, and obviously any shot below the belly button is a low blow. And even when I look at it now, it was below the belly button, or majority of the glove was below the belly button. But all you need to do is look at the hips. You can't punch in someone's hip. So if you drew a line from one hip to the other hip of Usyk's hips, you would see that that's below that line. So therefore, there is no two ways about it. I see people going around and around in circles and saying, "Oh, it's not a low blow."
Do you even have a conversation about it on the phone?
Bro, the funniest thing with Jermaine is, and no disrespect to him, and to everyone, you can't. And I said this on Instagram today.
Yeah.
Precedent does not count more than a rule. You can't use precedent to make a decision more than a rule.
Because you could be using a wrong decision.
Thank you. That is my point.
Yeah.
If something happened in a specific case, you can't then use that as an example moving forward. It's not a court hearing. You can't use Nick Francis versus the people in 2016.
Don't Google that.
But regardless, you can't use a precedent in boxing. It's because there's something called human error. You have to go based on the rule. And if you're going based on the rule, there's no one who can tell me that wasn't a low blow. You can tell me that it was borderline, and even then I would say to you, I don't think it was borderline. I think majority of Dubois' glove was below the protected area, but you cannot tell me that the ref made a mistake. That is what I'm hearing people say. The ref made a mistake. How can you say you made a mistake?
Or the ref was cheating.
You can't show me
or Usyk was cheating.
That's foolish. You can't make that decision when there's not one person who can show me an image, and everybody. And I was talking to Dev, who works for BT Sports. I want everyone, show me one image where there's an inch of Dubois' glove touching the surface of Usyk's belly.
Also, it's TNT Sports now. But yeah, like the...
Is what it is, bro.
But yeah, like... The ref is still bookie though, because you're winning me over the arguments, but do you see Usyk got up
and the ref gave him extra minutes of joke?
Take more time, and I was like, bro, and I think we're gonna do a whole separate video on the channel about whether or not Dubois quit, but that played a part in his mentality carrying on the fight.
1,000,000%.
Daniel Dubois believes that was in the moment. He doesn't believe it's a low blow. So when he's seeing all this treatment, he's like, "What's the point?"
Was there's two things I want to say in defense of Dubois. Was the shot intentionally low? No. Was the referee in favor of Usyk throughout the majority of the fight? Yes, because there were shots that weren't low and Usyk was still calling it as low. That you can't self-referee. Like I'm hearing a lot of people say, "Oh, Usyk self." That's wrong. And the extra minute that he gave Usyk when Usyk said he's ready, again, that's also wrong.
The fight was refereed very, very weakly, and I understand why. Because, like I say, we know it's in Poland. The house was packed with Ukrainians, and like I say, on the stream I watched, the whole build-up was just President Zelensky and Ukraine and the people of Ukraine, and they were saying mad that we will destroy the Russian, but they were going hardcore.
I didn't even hear none of that.
It was hardcore, and I was like, right, and I was saying yo, this is a political.
You know why that's so
more
ironic?
than a fight.
You know why that's so ironic, and I don't want to go on a tangent. But when I was in Vegas for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, the first person I saw was Mauricio Suleiman, and the first thing I asked him was, when are we going to see Beterbiev versus Bivol for Undisputed? He said, you will never see that until the war's ending. That's what he said to me personally. You can take me to court for that as well. He said that to my face. We will never see that fight until the war's ending. So, which is proof to me that we're now seeing politics and boxing merge. So that just cements what you're saying.
100%. And I thought it's a long day. It's a very long day. Again, slight different tangent. I feel that Dubois put up a better fight against Usyk than AJ did.
I disagree tremendously, but I disagree tremendously, and we're going to get into another topic.
We'll talk about it in a different video.
But in just talking about the low blow, and again, I want everybody to be completely honest. If you're going to...
so if you're going to give people that might not know, and we're not saying you might not know to be condescending or to be rude, but I've been in boxing a long time, I boxed before, so you're saying it's like an offside. So if a player's toe is offside, the player's offside.
Exactly.
So if a bit of the glove is below the belly button, it's a low blow. It doesn't need to be the whole player a mile offside.
And I want to say this very, very clearly as well. If that shot was given, I wouldn't be in that much uproar because I've seen it given before. However,
that's the precedent bit.
That's the precedent bit. But that is just human error. And I know that happens in boxing. Just like Andy Ruiz hit AJ behind his head. We're not arguing about that, and that is illegal. But if
That
it's
AJ
given,
got
it
knocked
happens
out.
in
That AJ got knocked out.
exactly, it happens in boxing. For me, if a referee gives that as a, and I'm hearing people say, oh, he was cheating, it wasn't a low blow. You can't tell me that. You obviously don't know the rules. And Frank Warren, I understand, because he's going to support his youth. But fans who are supposed to be like us, who's just consuming information based on what is in front of us. And again, I will tell you this for free, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet on this. When it comes to the ruling of boxing and safeguarding, I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely well equipped. Bro, I spent 3 years on just safeguarding in boxing. And like, that was my entire university dissertation, safeguarding in boxing. And why it's so important is because a lot of fans who don't watch boxing, they wouldn't watch, for example, when Kovalev fought Andre Ward in the second fight, and everybody's using that as an example. I remember vividly a fight doctor on ESPN came and he explained what a low blow is. And it's very, very clear. Any shot below the belly button, even if an inch of the glove is on the belly button, any shot below is a low blow.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And I don't think it was intentional. Dubois
100% no.
was struggling to find his range all night. And he's fighting somebody that's quite a lot smaller than him. So he's trying to tuck in and get that body shot. That he clearly made that a bit of a tactic in the game plan.
Usyk definitely exaggerated as well, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And there was no
punch or none of that.
And there was no balance in the crowd. Do you know what I'm saying? If you get some balance in the crowd, your fans are going to cheer, but then my fans are going to jeer against your fans cheering. But there's none of that. There's no, we talk about British fans traveling. Every time there could be 200 people and they'd be like, oh, the British fans travel. I didn't hear nothing about no British fans travel. All I kept hearing is 40,000 Ukrainians, 40,000 Ukrainians. So it was pointless.
But I think, again, it leans back towards the point of, what didn't help Dubois was the fact that, again, a rule is a rule, innit?
Yeah.
So, as black and white as it is and as unfortunate as it is, a rule is a rule. And Usyk didn't help by saying he got punched in his balls, where we clearly saw that he didn't. Yeah. But you don't have to get punched in your balls for it to be a low blow. And that's the painful truth of it.
It's one of them situations where they're both coming out not looking great. Because Usyk went in as a warrior. I said on my video, and maybe I'm wrong about the low blow, but I said in my video, that's tarnished a bit of his image of being this warrior, this traveling fighter, this guy willing to go anywhere. Because we haven't really seen him do these types of things. We haven't really seen him lie and say he got hit in the balls or go down and milk it. And we haven't seen a lot of that. He seemed like super professional.
It definitely did, but I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not surprised by that is because he was genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you can over milk something just to get away with it. And I'm not surprised by that at all. He's a person we've seen who's been squeaky clean throughout his entire career. But we can't forget that he's still a human being.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by the fact that... Yeah. Because I guarantee there's part of Usyk that felt at the time that it was borderline.
Yeah.
There was part of Usyk that felt that was borderline.
It was borderline.
For me, I understand why people say it's borderline, but it's a low blow.
Yeah, no, of course, but I'm saying it wasn't the whole glove wasn't.
Yeah, no, of course not.
So it wasn't. Do you know what I'm saying? But I hope that this Usyk looking, I don't think he looks fragile, but
to the body, 100%.
I hope that this pushes us closer
to Fury
to seeing a Fury fight, and I think it might to come out of that fight and. Not look impressive because he knocked him out of a jab, so obviously he did look a bit, and he was having it his own way the whole night. But we'll talk about that in another video. But there you go. Do you know what I mean? Shane said it himself. He knows the rules.
It's not a low blow.
It's not a low blow. That's just what it is.
I mean, it is a low blow. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Bro, I did that. Bro, it is a low blow.
I'm just agreeing with what you say, man. You're the rule. I've boxed for years, innit? I just walk into a ring and thump man up, innit? Don't talk about the rules, blood.
I hate
you know what I mean?
Still.
That's it. And for me, I'm very, very heavy. So I used to fight at middleweight when I was junior middleweight. So
168, raw.
But at youth level.
Sorry,
not 168. But I used to fight at that level, and I'm only 5'8". So everyone I fought is taller than me. So I never really had these problems with low blow because the body's always been a huge target for me to hit. So I never really have these problems.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
Again, but rules are the rules. It's black and white. I mean, if you're listening to Frank Warren, Frank Warren's gonna say what he's gonna say because he's gonna support his fighter. And another thing, and this is my last point. If you have a horse in a race, I'll never listen to your opinion.
No, I was gonna say that. Yeah, you shouldn't. We got to take it a pinch of salt.
Anyone who has a horse in a race, I'll never listen to an opinion.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, majority of the people that are saying it's not a low blow is they are supporting of Dubois.
Yeah.
You know, so it's.
And the thing is, I was on this channel last week, and so was Shane saying Usyk's gonna smoke him. So
Facts.
it's not like I favour Dubois or anything. I was just calling it as I see it, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's what I saw in the moment, and I didn't see the replay. It's only afterwards I went and watched the replays on Twitter and all the doctors and Mike Coppinger and all these people breaking it down. I was like, all right, cool.
Even if you say okay, it still look on the safe zone. No one can categorically say that the ref made a mistake.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah,
I even heard Laurie talk about and I'm thinking to myself like, bruh, you can't tell me that it's a it's not like he hit him right in the chest.
Shout out Laurie, man.
Get me.
Shout out Laurie, man. But listen, like and subscribe.
Facts.
We are going to be starting to cover fights from next month. We're going to be covering fights live on the channel as well. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We're going to be dropping some promo stuff, so you'll know ahead of time when we're dropping the fights or when we're going to be going live and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, like, subscribe, put a comment down. Do you agree with Shane? Shane's giving you the rules, the actual rules in the rule book of boxing. Or you saying,